Going to put that quote on our shirt and whenever they say the wrong thing. And Saul, let's talk about building resilience, maintaining resilience in your world.
Yeah, I think ultimately, what I say about people in this room is ultimately everyone here is not just a leader, right? You're a guide. I think to be a true leader and have the success and to continue to maintain that success, you have to be able to fill gaps. Especially when you start asking for VC funding, they expose a bunch of weaknesses. And then I expected you to become that person. They're saying, like, how honest is this person going to be to show me what they're not the best at? And what is their plan to fill those gaps, right? And that's really what, how we operated and how we leverage this community and people around us is we fill those gaps acting as a guide, being very dialed in as to what we need so they can feel comfortable coming into these engagements in a way where someone would traditionally never find them because they're like, hey, you're great at this, and I see that you would be perfect for this person or a perfect attribute for this engagement we're trying to solve, this problem we're trying to solve. Will you come in and support it? And they're able to be a guide or a leader or help fill that gap for someone in the organization. So really, it's the community. And the right communities aren't just going to let you in, right? You really got to show up. You really got to grind. You really got to persevere. And I think everyone here has discipline and consistency when we lack motivation. So I think it's a really important aspect of everything because the victories in business are so short-lived. But someone has to do it. So, a lot of people are counting on us to be successful. So really, I think that is, kind of our approach.
No, I think that honestly is super important. I think the best thing that you want to approach is how to get over that table. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You got resilience right there. I mean, don't worry about the camera. It's not going to get hurt. No, but yeah, rebuilding resilience is important. And one of the biggest things you just mentioned there is building that community. And when I built my first community, built my first business, I thought that was going to define me. But I didn't really know what my weaknesses were because I didn't know myself yet. I hadn't experienced enough. I hadn't failed enough. So as you grow and develop, the community you have should also expand, right? You should have, like I said, specific coaches for specific things. But you will never be able to find those coaches if you can't look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm not good at this. And it's okay because that means there's something I can improve on. There's something I could be better at tomorrow. So, Mark, let's talk about building resilience. Man, you've got some great things you've done and seen and people you work with, but it's, like I said, it's got to be hard. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, let me, if I can, just sum up what the other three have said here in one simple phrase. To me, what they're talking about is culture is the greatest driver of operational success. And culture comes from respect and comes from each and everybody in an organization respecting the other, whether you're the leader, the guide, or the person being guided. If you all respect each other, have explicit clarity on what the mission is and what you're all working towards, that stress level goes down and magic starts to happen. And that is, to me, that's why I love doing what I do. It's getting to that point of magic. When magic happens, it's amazing. It really is. And I was just with 17 people over the course of the last week who have come together to build a virtual team. It was our first time in person, and it was magical. I mean, it was absolutely magical because everybody had a shared belief, a shared understanding, a mutual respect for each other. And that, to me, is the greatest driver that you've got to, that creates that resilience. Because, without that, then you're faking it. And you can't fake it, and if you fake it, you're just not going to succeed. And I've been in way too many situations where I've been around fakers, and it's hard. It's hard to watch. It's hard to deal with. It creates that stress level. When you're around people that just aren't truly, they're not real. And I think one other element, to Sean's point. Boundaries. Establish boundaries early. In my last startup company I founded by myself in a conference room in Denver, Colorado, I grew it to 250 employees with 8 offices around the world. And I set a boundary. Number one, my weekends were for my family. And number two, at 10 o'clock, you could not talk to me. At 5 a.m., you could talk to me. But between those hours, your business isn't your life. Your business is your business, and your life is your life. You can't intertwine the two.
And that leads into something in the next question about innovation and adaptation is that all of this creates what's called psychological safety. Another thing I would urge you to Google, and there's a great book on psychological safety, because it breeds innovation. And the concept of open innovation, we probably hear it all the time with things like open AI and all of that. But open innovation started in rooms like this. And it started with people being comfortable with